and welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Oyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu departs Abuja for Dubai Wednesday. Senate quashes bill seeking to allow parties replace NAS members. Plus, Elon Musk visits Israel, backs war against Hamas. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. We'll begin the news this afternoon from the national scene, where President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday depart Abuja for Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to attend the COP28 Climate Summit, also known as the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference, or Conference of the Parties of the UNFCCC. This was contained in a statement signed by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, revealed today. Ngalale said Tinubu, who will participate in the World Leaders Summit on December 1st and 2nd, 2023, will deliver a national statement highlighting Nigeria's stance on various thematic issues, including renewable energy and climate financing. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has signaled his readiness to present the 2024 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, tomorrow, November 29, by 11 a.m. President Tinubu made this known in an executive communication conveyed to the Senate today. Tinubu's letter of intent was read at plenary by Senate President Godswill Akpabio today, November 28. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has written the House of Representatives seeking the approval of the Green Chamber for $8.6 billion and £100 million external borrowing plan for critical infrastructure in areas such as power, roads, water, railway, and health. The President also forwarded the Federal Capital Territories supplementary budget to House for consideration. Meanwhile, President will present the 2024 budget to the National Assembly on Wednesday. This was after the Federal Executive Council, FEC, approved a 2024 budget of 27.5 trillion naira. Away from that, the Federal Executive Council, FEC has approved a 2024 budget of 27.5 trillion naira. This followed the review of the medium-term expenditure framework (MTF) earlier passed by the National Assembly, which benchmarked the exchange rate at 700 naira to $1 and crude oil price at $73.96 per barrel. Briefing newsmen shortly after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, said it revised the MTEF and fiscal policy to use an exchange rate of 750 naira to $1 and also a benchmark crude oil reference price of $77.96 per barrel. According to Bagudu, the FEC also approved an appropriation bill for 2024 with an aggregate expenditure of 27.5 trillion naira, an increase of over 1.5 trillion naira from the previously estimated. From the red chambers now, the Senate has quashed a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act 2022 seeking to allow political parties nominate and replace validly elected candidates in the event of resignation, death or vacancy of seats of serving members in National Assembly, NAS, and State Assembly, and for connected matters. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Karimi Sunday, representing Kogi West Senatorial District, explained that the bill seeks to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to allow the political parties that won an election nominate and replace candidates into National Assembly and State Houses of Assemblies whenever a vacancy occurs due to death or resignation of a candidate during their pendency of the tenure in office. He said the bill will primarily avoid waste of public resources in conducting a fresh election in the federal and state constituencies. The lawmaker, however, failed to convince a significant number of his colleagues in their argument of the validity of this move. The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, thereafter gave an opportunity to him to withdraw the bill or amend it, which he declined. In a separate development, the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation and Chairman of the ECOWAS Interministerial Committee on Social Protection, Dr. Beta Aidu, has harped on the imperativeness of member countries of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to work towards achieving maximum social protection in the sub-region. Speaking in Banjul, the capital of the Republic of Gambia, during the closing session of the hybrid interministerial meeting to adopt the ECOWAS Regional Social Protection Framework and Operational Plan, the minister told the session that the adoption of a social protection framework by member countries and full implementation was key to overcoming humanitarian and poverty challenges in West Africa. Aidu described the meeting as crucial and remarkable as it was expected to grow the great initiatives and long-term effort of the ECOWAS Commission with the support of partners in birthing the social protection instrument in the sub-region. She pointed out that the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the yawning gaps in the social protection of the world, particularly in the West African sub-region, which has one of the lowest social protections in the continent. From the judiciary, a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has adjourned an alleged procurement fraud case involving ex-governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. The court adjourned the trial of the ex-bank chief to January 18th and 19, 2024 for continuation of trial. Emefiele's standing trial on a six-count amended charge on alleged procurement of that. He was granted bail on November 17, 2023 to the tune of 300 million naira and two sureties of remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center pending when he meets his bail conditions. Still on judicial matters, an appeal court sitting in Lagos State has dismissed the petition filed by the governorship candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC in Rivers State, Patrick Tonye Cole, against Governor Siminalayi Fubara of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The appellate court also dismissed the petition of the Accord Party. Recall that the Rivers State governorship election dismissed the petition of Cole challenging the election of Fubara as the governor of the state. The tribunal had dismissed the petition, saying that the APC that sponsored Cole had withdrawn the petition against Fubara's victory. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has sacked the Deputy Speaker of the Bauchi State House of Assembly, Jamilu Barad of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The three-man panel of justices in its judgment nullified the judgment of the Bauchi State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal, which had initially confirmed Barad as the duly elected representatives for Bauchi Central State constituency. Consequently, the panel ordered rerun elections in some polling units in the constituency, where the appellant Aliyu Ilela of the All Progressives Congress alleged overvoting. The court ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to retrieve the certificate of return earlier issued to the Deputy Speaker and conduct a rerun election in the affected polling units. Moving now to Africa, where Sierra Leonean President Julius Bayer has reiterated his commitment government's commitment to democracy, justice, well-being and safety of its citizens. Bayo made this known during the reception of a high-powered delegation from the ECOWAS Commission and the government of Nigeria. The delegation includes Nigeria's National Security Advisor Nuhu Badu, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, Chief of Defense Military Intelligence Major General Emmanuel Odandeye, and President of ECOWAS Commission Dr. Umaru Toure, among others. Still in Africa, Niger's military junta has overturned an anti-migration law that criminalized the transportation of migrants through the country. The junta announced the repeal of the law in a statement noting that the junta leader General Abdurrahman Chiani had signed a decree revoking it. Reports say the law was introduced in 2015 with the European Union backing the help to help reduce the flow of West Africans to Europe. On the foreign scene, Israeli Foreign Ministry has said that Thailand Prime Minister Sretha Thavisin is set to visit Israel today. The ministry in a statement noted that the Deputy Thai Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Panpri Bahida Nukara will also join the trip. According to the statement, Foreign Minister Eli Cohen is expected to meet with them, and together with Health Minister Uriel Bosso, they will visit the recently released 5 citizens who are currently at the Shamar Medical Center. Reports say 17 Thai nationals have been released from Gaza by Hamas through separate negotiations that are not included in the Israel-Hamas truce. In a related development, popular tech mogul Elon Musk has visited Israel and declared support for the war against Hamas. Musk said that there was no choice in Israel's resolve to destroy Hamas. Musk made this known during his meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other stakeholders in Far Azar, Israel. Musk arrived in Israel to meet with Netanyahu President Isaac Herzog, other officials and victims of the October 7th Hamas attack, as well as the families of hostages, after being accused of promoting anti-Semitism with his social media platform X. The billionaire decided to visit Israel less than 2 weeks after he endorsed an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory on his X platform, which led to major companies pulling advertisement from the microblogging site. Still to come in the news. Messi unfollowed Man United's Garnacho because of Ronaldo. Just stay with us. Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. On our business news, the federal government has approved a sum of 3 billion naira for airport scanners. This is in a bid to reduce multiple agencies involved in manual bag checks at the airport. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this to newsmen after the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting presided over by President Tinubu at the Presidential Villa Abuja. He said the installation of state-of-the-art customized explosive and narcotic detection screening systems. According to him, the approved contract will cover major international airports in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt, and Enugu.
Inundated with complaints of the harrowing experiences that passengers go through at the airports, where they have to physically search their bags. And so it's for the approval of the award of contract for the supply and installation of customized explosive and narcotics detection screening systems with remote and dual view for the international airports of Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt, and Enugu. Since I came to office, we have been inundated with complaints of the harrowing experience or experiences that passengers go through at the airports.
Still in business, the federal government, through the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has constituted a housing reform team of experts and stakeholders to develop a robust framework of the housing sector and ensure that housing agencies under the supervision of the ministry are enhanced to provide affordable homes for Nigerians. In a statement by the ministry's Director of Information, Badamasi Haiba, he also stated that the reform team would deliberate on necessary legislative amendments such as the Land Use Act 1978, National Housing Fund Act 1992, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria Establishment Act 1993, Federal Housing Authority Act 1973, among others. The minister made this disclosure during a meeting with a delegation from the Housing Development Advocacy Network led by Ugochukwu Chime at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. He explained that the reform team would be made up of representatives from Hadan agencies, professional bodies, as well as academia, to develop a robust framework for the reform of the housing sector by thoroughly reviewing relevant laws. In health, medical practitioners have given reasons why people should maintain good oral hygiene at all times, disclosing their poor oral hygiene to being linked to serious health conditions like cancer, heart attacks, and renal failure. According to them, poor oral hygiene can lead to a growth of bacteria in the mouth, which can then travel to other parts of the body and cause serious damage. The expert maintained that taking care of one's oral hygiene is not just about brushing and flossing, but also about visiting the dentist regularly for checkups and cleanings. They added that chronic kidney patients are found to suffer numerous systematic complications that may contribute to poor oral health and cause heart disease. Still in health, medical experts have also warned that prolonged use of painkillers can cause irreversible damage to the liver and may even lead to death. They noted that depending on painkillers to manage chronic pain could damage vital organs of the body, especially the liver, if taken over a long period. The physicians explained that the reason why over-reliance on painkillers could cause such massive damage to the liver and kidneys was because they reduce the production of prostaglandins, which they said are chemicals to help to protect the organs. According to them, painkillers can lead to severe health complications by destroying the body's natural defense mechanism. In sport, Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand has claimed that Inter Miami's Lionel Messi unfollowed Alejandro Garnacho on social media. Ferdinand met their claims as Garnacho recently scored a spectacular overhead kick out during Man United's Premier League win over Everton. Garnacho and Messi are both international teammates with Argentina's senior team. The 19-year-old joined Man United from Atletico Madrid in 2020. Still in sports, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has emphasized the importance of his team locking down top spot in the Champions League group. The holders take on RB Leipzig at Etihad Stadium today in their fifth Group G game, having won 4 out of 4 so far. The club and Leipzig has already clinched spot in the knockout stage, but first place and pool remains up for grabs. On our entertainment news, famous Nigerian singer Teniola Akpata, popularly known as Tenny, has blasted Nigerians for criticizing Davido over his younger sister's comment. Recall that Davido had, during one of Tenny's visits to his house, he referred to her as my younger sister despite both being age mates. Following this, many netizens took to the internet to drag Davido. Reacting to the development in an interview on Zero Conditions podcast, Tenny clarified that she harbors no grievances over Davido's comment while questioning the sensibility of those who took issues with the terminology. Tenny used the analogy of her driver calling her Madame even though he is far older than her to shut the critics.